off air about how this is really the first offseason you've had where you haven't had to deal with injuries, right? For you as a young player, how does that feel, knowing that you're actually entering this upcoming season healthy? What is that like for you?
It's huge, man. I mean, it just makes it a lot easier to go into every day knowing you don't have to really wake up and worry about rehabbing an ankle or a knee or whatever.
We are 24 minutes down here at House Park, and the Bowie Bulldogs are taking a 3-point lead over the Anderson Trojans. Bowie's wideouts have been having a field day thus far, so be sure to watch out for Anderson's defensive backs and see how they can slow those boys down. Riding on the shoulders of two-position athlete Cameron Dickey, the Crockett Cougars look to prowl on the ground against the 1-2 McCallum Knights at House Park. Do you feel like there's naturally just a chip on your shoulder?
Oh, always. I always get a chip on my shoulder. It feels like no matter what I do, it's always going to be something out there that somebody will say or
For you, taking your first professional loss, how has that affected your mindset?
I mean, obviously it sucked, you know what I mean? It wasn't what we were looking for, and kind of everything about the fight just didn't really go our way.
Senior quarterback Annie Estes looks to lead his McCallum Knights to their second victory of the season here at House Park, but the Crockett Cougars will not make it easy. They've been averaging over 170 rushing yards per game, so the Knights defense will have their work cut out for them. You've done a lot of great things inside the cage. But are you going to trade out the gloves for a bowling ball? Are you going to be Chris Cyborg, the bowling legend now, or what's going on?
No, today's a test. I love challenge. I think it's going to be a great moment with my fans if everybody going to participate.
If I would have told you this was going to be your journey, what would you have told me?
If you would have asked me back then if all this would happen, I would have thought it was pretty crazy, just because one, I was a receiver, and then two, we were losing pretty bad. It's like teams that see us on the schedule, they'd be excited.
Yeah, and you mentioned the people around you. You've been blessed with a lot of great coaches coming up. DeJounte Murray has said Pop and the Spurs saved his life. DeMar DeRozan has talked about the importance of just Pop, of how different he is just how unique he is.
Yeah.
For you, what makes Pop so unique?
He doesn't really care who you are, and he doesn't pick favorites. He'll treat everybody the same. And I think athletes, especially NBA players, I think we all can respect that. Because I think there's a lot of fakeness surrounding us sometimes, and with him, he's keeping it honest with you at all times.
You're back in the gym already. It's only it hasn't even been a week yet.
No, yeah.
What can we expect next from you, brother?
I think you're going to see just a very hungry fighter. Before in my past fights, I've kind of, I don't want to say played around, but I've done some things that obviously cost me my last fight, and
what drives you to be just so involved in the community? Because you're not from San Antonio, but you came all the way over here. What drives you to be so involved?
I believe it's important to not just be the champion in the fight, but to be champion in people's hearts, because it stays forever. Everything you do, like for helping others, is going to stay forever in their hearts.
You're days away from your first training camp, right? Preseason's right around the corner. Tell me how that makes you feel.
I'm very excited, really, just everything that I worked for, everything that led up to this point, gives me confidence to know if I go in there and do what I have to do, I'll be a good player for the Seahawks. So,
going into this season, what are some of your goals, and do they differ from the team's goals, or how does that work?
Only goal that I have is, try to win a bowl game for UTSA, bring San Antonio another championship, and hopefully win another conference championship. That's really all my goals, and hopefully we can go out there and succeed those.
People are expecting a really big year from you, but in reality, you've come a very long way. Do you ever get a chance to smell the roses and just take it all in?
Like you said, I've been down a lot, I've been humbled a lot, so when these opportunities present themselves, you got to just kind of look at it and keep going, because they can all get taken away so quickly.
It occasionally happens in San Marcos, in a city where trains pass through on a regular basis. There are times when the trains stop completely, leaving motorists frustrated and stuck for long periods of time. It happened this past Sunday when a train blocked traffic on South Guadalupe Street for half an hour. If a train is ever at a complete stop in front of you, you can report it to the Federal Railroad Administration at fra.gov/block crossings. What is having your dad in your corner? What is that like?
It's great, man. A lot of people, ask me about that a lot. And what I tell people is having your dad, there's someone in people's lives who just kind of know them. You know what I mean? And there's not a lot that needs to be said for you to kind of get the message or what's trying to be said. So fortunate for me, I have that, and it's just been great because we've been able to kind of experience this ride together.
Yeah.
But they don't know the day-to-day where you're rehabbing, or there's so much more that goes into it. What were some specific things that kind of grounded you through that process? Because I know mentally for me that would be a lot.
Yeah, I think just like with anything, with any profession, there's stuff that people don't see. There's a lot of professionals out there that I don't know what their day-to-day life is like, and that's normal for people. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think definitely what grounded me was trying to think about every day as its own thing and trying to make that specific day a fun day.
In other news, the Texas State baseball team is off to its best start in school's history. Bobcat Update's Orlando Smart has the story. Yeah, I don't know about you, but if I see a beaver, I'm going to be running like I'm on the Texas State track team. But that's all we have for today's edition of Bobcat Update. Thank you for joining us. I'm Damien Bartonek.